Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly listening host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lumber Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt. First time we've been live in 2022. It's been a few months.
Yep, this is our big Orioles prediction show. This is our last episode before the season starts. It's about time.
And now it's like, come on, if we went live during the off season, the chat would be filled with, are they going to get Correa? What are they going to do about pitching? Are they really going to go in with a $30 million payroll? Yeah. And now we get to have those conversations, but actually games we get to talk about starting next week.
Yeah. And spoiler, all the stuff we hoped would happen this offseason, none of it happened. So
nothing.
Whatever. So,
I don't think there's one thing that we hoped for this offseason that happened except for the CBA settled out so we get baseball. And even that happened way too late.
Yeah. And you can bring in food to the stadium. That's about it.
That's a big one. Yeah. I got it. I do like that one. But again, we had that. We had that years ago.
No, but we have a jam-packed show for you today because this is all Orioles podcast here. I mean, we are an all Orioles podcast, but sometimes we stray away from it. But this is, we got stuff. We got to talk about opening day lineups, some bold predictions, kind of final thoughts on spring training. We got a trade throw in there. We got a contract signed in there.
I know. We had to have a little pre-show meeting to say, hey, let's keep the non-baseball stuff for another week.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because we both have some fun stuff to talk about outside of baseball.
Yeah, we got other weeks. Baseball's a long season, especially if you're an Orioles fan.
Yep. But who cares? It starts in 5 days? Friday.
That's right. Hope springs eternal. We are tied for first place with the Devil Rays, the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. Go O's.
Yeah. Any chance that ever happens again? Starting Friday.
That we're all tied or that we're in first?
Is there any point where we are in first place this season?
Yes. I think John Means is going up against just average, mediocre pitcher for Tampa. We're going to win opening day.
Average, mediocre pitcher for Tampa. Isn't that what you say about all their pitchers and they just somehow always blow you away?
Yeah, I know.
They're average, mediocre pitchers. I believe they're ranked to have the top pitching staff in baseball this year.
Yeah, I don't know because always it's like and the opening day pitcher for the Rays, by the way, is Shane McClanahan. But like always, you're like, I feel like the Rays. You're right. There's a bunch of unnamed pitchers that all of a sudden by the season are some of the best pitchers in baseball. So we'll see. I mean, you'd think all the other teams got so much better. You got to think this is going to be a little bit of a down year for the Rays. But they seem to always be there, so probably not. But yeah, I think we're going to win opening day in Tampa, and we'll be 1-0. And so we'll be first place then.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I mean, that would be great, especially since I'll be there. I'd really like that. I think I've kind of just settled in my head that like I'm going to go enjoy the game, but they might not win, and it's okay. Yeah,
no. But, I mean, we have a legit chance to win because you have John Means. The problem with this team is we also have Dean Kramer and Zimmerman and Aiken. And so if we could figure out a way to make Means start every game, I think we'd have a chance to win most every game. The problem is there's only one Means, and we got other guys who are not as good as Means.
But he does mean business.
Yeah. All right, where do you want to start, Josh? Do you want to start with open day predictions? Should we wrap?
No.
Let's stick with
we gotta talk about the news. Well, we got to talk about the news because that's going to affect our predictions.
Yes.
So
talk trades. Let's talk Mancini contract. Let's ease into it.
All right.
Ease into it with the Mancini signs. He signed for this year, avoids arbitration, avoids that scary, lock in a room
Right.
arbitration hearing.
Yeah, the thing all the fans were freaking out about. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that thing.
And he signs a contract for this year and a mutual option for next year.
Right.
Which is good. It's good to avoid arbitration. Good for Trey, good for the Orioles.
Good for the Orioles, as in that 1 year option might be attractive to another team.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't understand what the 1 year option means at all.
When
Like
it's a mutual option,
a
so
mutual option.
either one.
Like it sounds like, what's the difference between just being a free agent and signing a mutual agreed upon contract? Like a mutual option is like the same as just agreeing to sign a contract, right? Like I don't understand the difference or the advantage of having that. I guess there is one. I just don't know what it is. I never really understood the mutual option.
Maybe it just works out the money for next year. If
like
this is what the money will be like if we want you and you want here.
Yeah, and I think what it also does more than that is because why not just sign a 1 year deal and then reach a mutual agreement the next year? I think what it does is
that's the buyout.
Yeah, that's what it does, the buyout. Because now you have an extra $250,000. If that's I don't remember what the difference was. Maybe the difference was around $250,000. Well, here's the difference. You get a $250,000 buyout. Like
right.
And you're going to get it. So, there's the money to make it up. And we don't have to pay you this year. We can pay it to you next year at the buyout because we're the Orioles and we're weird about money.
And we delay it, right? Because why spend it now? So yeah, again, there's nothing. They had to do something with Mancini. So this is what they did instead of arbitration.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's going to necessarily be here for 2 years. It doesn't mean he's necessarily not going to be traded. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. Everything is still the same.
Doesn't really mean that. It means instead of arbitration, they agreed on a price tag.
Yeah, which is good.
That's all it means.
Yep.
But trading Tanner Scott and Cole Sulser does mean something.
Yeah.
It means we don't have any pitching in our bullpen. It means good luck winning games this year.
It's also reminded me, Josh, of, and I went back and looked. I didn't make this up. One of the first posts in the offseason was Rock Kubako saying, we don't know a lot about the next Orioles team, but what we do know is Tyler Wells is going to be the closer. And Tyler Wells, of course, and I kind of scoffed at that at the beginning because Tyler Wells is always a career starting pitcher. And so Tyler Wells is not in the bullpen. He's going to be moved, I think, to a starter or piggyback role, whatever. And so that's another. So you're losing from the back end of your bullpen, kind of three top arms, Sulser, Scott, and Wells from the back end of your bullpen.
Right. Which means it's going to make that. It means you can have that 9-run lead. It's still going to make that second half awkward. That second half of a game always awkward.
Yep. It's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be. He's going to Manager Hyde is going to have his options, and so I'm sure we'll see a lot of different closers, a lot of different setup guys, a lot of different. Yep. He's going to use a lot of different pieces until someone figures it out and works out. Yeah, so it should be interesting to watch. Josh, your thoughts on the trade? It kind of split. Some people were saying that this is outrageous. Why are we trading away our best bullpen arms? Other people were saying, just trust the process. Where do you fall down on this trade?
I understand it. It's annoying though, but I'm also the same type of fan who kept saying, like, Tanner Scott's got all the stuff if he can just put it together. And we saw a blip of that in 2020, so it excited me. But we didn't see it last year at all. He wasn't good last year. So I understand, like, bringing in these rookies that have potential, but they're really young. I mean, the one kid's like 17 years old.
Yeah,
this Kevin Guerrero guy who. For the life of me, I thought Kevin Guerrero was already on our team, but that's Kelvin Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, yeah.
Gutierrez, yeah. So I thought it was the same guy, new to me. But so that confused me a little bit when the news came out. But I get it. He's looking to the future. He's looking past these guys. But Cole Sulser was our best bullpen arm. Cole Sulser was our chance of eating innings in the bullpen. And Tanner Scott, I like him. He always has potential. The interesting thing will be to see if he blossoms outside of this organization, like we've seen so many other pitchers do. Like they leave Baltimore and they get it together.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Miami bullpen, and they now have Zach Pop, Richard Blyer, Tanner Scott, and Cole Sulser. That's a former Orioles bullpen right there. Yeah, a couple my couple thoughts on it was it does. I feel like this is a trade, and I think a big part of that trade too was, by the way, getting a comp B pick in the draft.
Right.
So there's
So
only
it-
certain you can only trade the the compensatory picks, and so this
Yeah.
I think will come to be like pick number 70 or something in the draft.
And it means we now have 4 picks in like the top 70.
Yeah, and Mike Elias, it seems the jury's still out. It seems though, you look at a guy who we got late like Kobe Mayo. It seems like he's pretty good at the draft. He's pretty good at it.
I think so.
So good to
We'll
give him
find
more
out.
bullet. And what it also does, Josh, it becomes complicated, but the money becomes a big deal because you
Mhm.
get money allotted with each draft pick.
Right.
So you can go over slot, under slot. And so this
Yep.
gives them more money in the draft pool.
Plus,
too,
I believe it puts us under 30 million for the year now.
which is an added bonus.
Because
Yeah,
we
'cause
cleared
Anderson-
we cleared up just over $1 million getting rid of these 2 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so a couple thoughts is like it feels like this feels like a 2019 trade when you were getting all these young prospects to build out your international team, and getting draft picks. But I would argue, like, on the one hand, I applaud people who complain about the trade because I think Mike Elias should deserve more slack for the general notion of this entire offseason of doing nothing.
No, not more slack.
Right, he should be given more. He should be given more criticism.
Yeah, totally.
For not doing anything.
Totally.
But
yes.
And so I'm all for criticizing Mike Elias for not making more moves. But this trade, I feel like not only does it make sense in a rebuild situation like the Orioles are still in, but I think even if the Orioles were contending, it makes sense. Like I think this is one of the deals
Yeah.
that always makes sense. You're trading a journeyman. I mean, we just picked up Salser. It's not like we drafted him or traded for him. A couple years ago, we just picked him up because no one else wanted him. He's coming off his best year, so he's 32. So you trade him. And Tanner Scott, you can't talk about potential and prospect. I mean, dude's 27.
Right.
Walks a guy every inning. I joked, Josh, friend of the show, we interviewed him, and I made the joke. I said, "Hey Tanner, why don't you like pace the play here? Walk the first guy in the inning, and then just start pitching everybody else because you're gonna walk a guy every inning." And so I was like, "Just get it over with." And that was what 5 years ago or something. And now he's still doing it. And so, yeah, Tanner Scott, he's got the stuff that can go at the back end of the bullpen, but he walks too many guys to put him in the back end of the bullpen. So I feel like Tanner Scott does not I think that's actually an addition by subtraction. I hate to say it because he has elite stuff, but the location you can't pitch in the majors if you're walking a guy every other inning.
Right now, the difference would be Tanner Scott. This is his first year of arbitration, so we had him till 24. So we had a few more years under him, and Cole Sulser, we had like another year because he doesn't hit arbitration till next year. So it's not like you mentioned veteran guys. Sulser's not a veteran guy. He's still under team control. And it does really hurt you this year when everyone else in your bullpen is question marks.
Yeah, but I would argue even with that, with Scott and Sulser, I don't know. I think Scott was making a little over $1 million this year. I don't know what Sulser was making. But I mean, Scott was not coming back after this year. No. You're telling me he was going to get a raise if he pitched like this year, how he pitched last year, he's going to get $1 million raise and come back next year. No, he's going to be cut anyway.
Yeah.
And so I also think like that appeals to Miami, who doesn't want to spend any money to have that team control and the salaries be relatively low.
Yep.
So that's part of why you're able to trade them is because they have those years left on their deal and their salaries are so low.
And I think we do have a bunch of pitchers in AAA that we wonder if they're good enough. And here's some spots where these guys can fill in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, even in the majors, we don't know. I mean, we just picked up this offseason guys like Brian Baker, who Michael Bowman looks like he has really good stuff. I want to see more of him. Felix Bautista looks electric at times. Like there are a bunch of, I mean, we talk a lot about starters, but there are a bunch of relievers on our 40-man right now who will be, I mean, I want to see more Jorge Lopez in a back in a bullpen situation.
Yeah, Lopez and Bautista are big winners out of this. It makes room for them.
Yeah. And the other thing, Josh, is just part of just the logistics of it. Our 40-man was full. We were going to need to cut players.
Yep.
Like we still don't have another catcher on the 40-man. We still only have one catcher last I checked. And so we're going to need to make 40-man room for another catcher. If they want to keep Chris Owens, that's another 40-man spot. And we were at 40, so this puts us back at 38. So we can add that catcher. And if we want to add someone like Chris Owens, we can add him. And just so logistically, someone was going to have to be DFA'd anyway. So you might as well get something back in return. And this, by the way, is what good teams do. This is what I think the Yankees fleeced us a couple years ago when we traded Zach Britton, because they took a bunch of their 40-man bubble guys and just gave them to us because they didn't have room on their 40-man for them anyway.
Right.
But this is what good teams do. Like, you realize you're going to have to make cuts on your 40-man. Before you do that, you trade a couple pieces away.
Right. And I think there's a really good chance that this week the Orioles sign some guys who get cut off of the 40-man bubbles everywhere else.
Right. And this will make our decisions about if we can pick them up a little easier, because we'll have a little bit more space on the 40-man that we didn't have two days ago before we made this trade.
Right.
So I think all around, it just makes logical sense. It's annoying because what I think it looks like from the outside is, we're still 4 or 5 years away. But I don't see that at all.
No,
I see us still being competitive next year. And I don't think losing Saucer or Scott is a big blow to us being competitive next year.
No, I agree. And what it does is hopefully set us up for further than 5 years, further than 3 years. Because part of being a perennial team, like we're trying to rebuild, the whole point of a rebuild is to get the team that's not good this year, but good for 10 years.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to have to always have these young guys in.
Yeah. And that's the point I think Buster Olney always misses when he tweets and gets everybody mad, is that the whole point of this rebuild is not that we can kind of be good for 5 years, then tank, be good for 5, but to build a sustaining, winning organization. And
Buster understands that everywhere except for in Baltimore.
Yes.
He doesn't believe that Baltimore can do that, because he is the same guy that wrote articles years ago about how Houston rebuilt the right way and all these other teams should emulate them.
Yeah.
So
or criticize the Rockies for signing Chris Bryant when they're still in the rebuild process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I always also want to side with Buster because the Orioles should be spending more money.
They should.
So I agree with him there.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
also like to see Oriole fans all upset at Buster Olney.
Yeah, that's always everyone unite against Buster Olney.
Yeah, there's a few of those national reporters where all the Oriole fans want to hate on him. And it's like, well, he's not always wrong.
Yeah, that and when Ken Rosenthal releases his top prospect list.
Yeah.
No, but
that's who's the guy who doesn't put the Orioles as their top farm system?
Yeah, isn't that? No. Who is that? Is that Ken Rosenthal?
No,
that's the minor league guy.
I'm blanking on his name.
I'll think of it later. Yeah, I'll think of it later. But either way, Josh, there is and I'm criticizing Michael Elias for having a quiet offseason. It is we can step back also on MLB pipeline. The Orioles have the number one prospect, the number one farm system in baseball.
Yes.
That's super impressive. In a short amount of time, we went from having one of the worst farm systems in baseball to now the best farm system in baseball. Right. And Michael Elias had very little chips to work with. It's not like he traded a bunch of guys to get an elite prospects. No, he built this kind of from the ground up the hard way.
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen the fruits of the international market. So props to Michael Elias for all this work.
True. And that number one farm system, it doesn't it's not like winning the off season. That number one farm system always leads to winning baseball.
Yeah,
we have never seen anyone get a number one farm system and then not show up in the majors.
Yeah, look at the number one farm systems 3 years ago and then look at where they're at now. There's a direct correlation, not necessarily the World Series, but being a winning team when you have a top farm system down the road. Yeah. There's that direct connection.
That's a culture. And so, but yeah, I mean, that's where when we get to these predictions and we talk about the roster and lineup, part of me is fearful of setting a winning culture in a losing season. Having a lot of young guys start in a losing season concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really buy that much at all.
I know you don't, and I know it's probably nothing, but I don't. Especially for pitchers, I wonder how much that affects you and gets in your head. But I guess if you built the right culture, it doesn't affect your pitchers at all.
Yeah, I mean, and I wonder too from a guy like Adley Rutschman. Dude has won all the game. I mean. Dude won left career. And right. from I'm sure from elementary school, high school, college. All he's done is won. All of a sudden, he has one. He plays 1 year with a struggling team. It's going to mess him up. I don't see it.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if that goes on for 2, 3, 4 years, then okay, fine. But a year of losing, I don't see having a big impact. But you're right. Like I don't know. Like starting pitching, I was looking back at some old quotes from Mike Elias from last offseason. Just I wanted to burn him about how he said he was going to add more starting pitching, but didn't.
We definitely don't have. Well, unless he might be adding it this week.
Yeah.
Could be grabbing some free agents this week.
Yeah, but here's his quote, by the way, from last offseason. Quote, but we need to get more talented in a lot of areas, and pitching is certainly at the top of the list. So we're going to be looking at external reinforcements for sure. That's his quote.
Yeah. Where are the reinforcements?
How is that looking? Yeah, how are the external reinforcements coming along? It's right. Jordan Lyles.
I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah, Jordan Lyles is not a reinforcement.
But he also said, Josh, in that same quote,
he
said that in our he said, but a lot of these guys on the 40-man roster, here's his quote, a lot of these guys on the 40-man roster, even though a lot of them had a rough stretch in the middle of the summer, and I think we've seen encouraging finishes for some of these guys in September, whether it's in the minors or the majors, this group by and large is still part of the future plans. There's a lot of talent here, and it's not surprising guys struggle pitching in the American League East. And that list of guys who are on the 40-man, but he still holds out hope that can contribute to this team are guys like Bruce Zimmerman, Zach Lothar, Dean Kramer, Alex Wells.
Yeah.
That's the list of guys who are young pitchers who we thought might take the next step last year, but they all stunk.
Right.
And so we're going back to the well this year, and you'll see a lot of those same guys get another shot at starting, and hopefully it goes better this year than it did last year. It certainly can't get much worse.
Right.
All right.
So,
yeah. You want to talk about some spring training winners and losers?
Do you want to do that, or do you want to get straight into our predictions? You have some winners and losers? Let's hear your winners and losers.
Real quick.
All right.
We talked last week about how there's no intriguing storylines. And that's true. It's boring. But I think there's some clear winners and losers that I want to go through real quick with spring training.
All right.
Where their stock either shot up or shot down because of spring training.
Okay. All right. We're not counting Oriole fans?
What do you mean?
Well, Oriole fans' stock shot down.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just talking about the actual players.
Masson stock shot down. It's not how you treat your fans.
Mike Elias stock?
Mike Elias stock. We had to pause that one so no one could trade with that during spring training. Just needed to keep everyone off of it. It was too volatile.
No. So here's who I think has had some has hurt their stock. DJ Stewart. The fact that we talked about all the time about this is his last chance. He's been hurt. He hasn't been on the field.
Yeah, but when he was on the field, he played well.
Yeah, but
got another hit today.
Yeah, but when you're a bubble guy and you got to prove your worth,
yeah,
you got to be on the field.
Yeah, I don't have him making the roster.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think as far as hurt their stock, almost all the pitchers. Kramer hasn't been good. When you know you're bad, Dean Kramer, you know you're bad when after his last start, he started talking about, oh, my stuff felt really good. Oh, yeah, you gave up a bunch of homers, but my stuff felt really good.
That's where he should have came out and said, oh, I was working on something.
Yeah, but this is not like a 10-year veteran. Dude, you got to make the team. You can't be out there working on stuff and just feeling good. Yeah. So Zimmerman's been bad. Kramer's been bad. Zimmerman's been bad. Aiken's been bad. Lowther's been bad. We have all these open spots in the rotation, and nobody wants them. They're all bad.
One guy. I got one. Well, one guy's been good.
Who?
Tyler Wells.
Yeah.
Tyler Wells is the only person to me who stepped up to show he wants a chance at that rotation.
Okay. Well, I got another guy.
All right. Technically, I've got another guy too. But I was saving it for my bold prediction.
Okay. He's only pitched 4 innings. But the other guy whose stock I think went up was Kyle Bradish. I think he looked pretty good while he was.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you. My other guy was Michael Bowman.
Okay.
I thought
I think it's another guy.
Too.
Yeah. I mean, his stats don't look that good, but I mean, I just said, you can't just say your stuff is good.
Exactly.
Bad.
But his stuff looked good.
Yeah. I mean, he was hitting 96, 97. Right. Like his stuff was up from last year. But he's a guy who I mean, this is good news with Salser and Scott out is good news for
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Other guy whose stock went up, you've never seen a guy's stock go up so high when he only pitched in 1 inning. But
Who?
DL Hall through 1 inning.
Oh yeah.
Was
Because he
all
threw
over
fire.
Twitter, and everybody's super pumped about him now.
Yeah.
From 1 inning.
Yeah.
They said 1 inning, they sent him down. He's not even on a spring.
Nope.
Both these guys, Bradish and Hall, aren't even on rosters.
Yep. Now it's Grayson. Who? When does DL come up?
Yeah, but Hall and Bradish are both being hidden somewhere in Sarasota.
Yeah.
In a bunker or something. The other guy whose stock I think went up, and we'll end with this one, is he didn't make the team, but Yusniel Diaz, I think his stock went up just in his when he got an opportunity, he played really well. And now all of a sudden we all kind of forgot about him or gave up on him. People are going to start watching him again.
I've still given up on him, just for the record. This little performance in Sarasota isn't going to get me there.
Okay, you think it's a little Jake Fox action here?
I'm not even giving him Jake Fox credit. He was not there long enough in a shortened spring training to begin with.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I once again I was ready to ignore him. I'll be honest. I'm now all of a sudden I'll be paying attention. I assume he's starting at Norfolk, and I'll be paying attention.
Well, for Diaz,
he's Norfolk.
He's Norfolk. For the pitchers you were mentioning, I think them and Adley are sticking around for extended spring training.
Yes.
And that's where you're keeping the guys who you might want to see this year.
Right. Or you're concerned about the innings, so you don't want them getting innings yet.
Right.
And so I think Bradish and Hall are on super innings watch, and so you don't want to get their innings up.
Yeah, you don't want to. Why waste innings in the minors? You want those innings in Baltimore.
Yep. It's the same reason why, I think Grayson Rodriguez is starting. What is he? He's starting at Norfolk, right? But he's not.
He's in Norfolk.
Yeah, he's not pitching opening day because again,
good. Let him be the closer.
Want to minimize his starts.
Right. Let him be the closer.
Yeah, because you want to save those starts for July and August. Yep. All right. Yeah. No. That's it. So now we can get to. You want to start with lineup or bold predictions?
Well, I feel like even the lineup
Record.
is part of. Isn't all of this part of our bold predictions?
All right. Let's start with bold predictions.
Time now for bold predictions.
All right, let's start with.
We didn't talk about this ahead of time. How many bold predictions you have?
I just scribbled some stuff down. Let's see.
Me too.
I don't know, 5 or 6 things.
Okay, me too. I have 5 or 6.
I find this team to be really hard to make bold predictions about. Everything about predicting this team I found really difficult. I wrote down a number. We're going to start. I think we should start with our. Do you want to do season predictions to start or at the end?
What do you mean season prediction?
Win-loss total.
Okay, you just played the music for bold predictions. Is your win-loss total in fact bold prediction too?
Well, no, it's a prediction.
Okay.
I told you this whole team is really hard to predict anything because I wrote down like a season win-loss total, and then I wrote down like what I think the lineup's going to be, what I think this is going to be, and then I had to go back and scribble and change my number. So let's start with bold predictions. Then we can talk about our roster setup.
Yeah.
And then we can get to what we think win-loss record is for the season.
Because
all this other stuff plays into that number.
I didn't mention this pre-show, but I also want to do our predictions of Adley Rutschman, DL Hall, Grayson Rodriguez. I have dates for when I think each of them will appear.
All right. Well, then let's just start with my first bold prediction is that DL Hall, Grayson Rodriguez, and Adley Rutschman are all on this team in June.
Okay.
I wrote June 15th as my note. All 3 of them by June 15th.
Oh.
Did you want me to pick dates for each guy?
You wanted me to share you my dates for each guy? Oh no, you go first. I actually thought about it. I looked at the Orioles calendar, and I have it worked out.
Well, hold on. All right,
who out of that group, Josh, DL Hall, Grayson Rodriguez, Adley Rutschman, who was the first guy to make the debut?
I think it's DL Hall. Who do you have as first? I think too many people are leaning on Rutschman being first. I think the injury pushes him back. So, and I think you need a big weekend series to get him in as well because he's a moneymaker. So I have DL Hall as my first guy.
Okay. I have I actually have Rutschman as my first guy, and then Hall, and then
All right.
Rodriguez.
All right. Well, let's start with Rushman. When do you have Rushman starting?
I think not majors, Josh, but you're right. I think the minors, people are poo-pooing it, but I don't see him making his debut in the minors for another couple weeks.
Adley
So,
Rushman?
yeah, I think
No,
we're
I
talking
agree.
like April 20th or that week when he makes the debut in the minors.
Right, but when's his debut in the majors? We're not a minor league podcast. We're talking Oriole predictions.
Yeah, Josh, how about this? How about this though? He's gonna make his debut on May 6th, which I think is a Friday,
That's a Friday.
against a home game against the other top prospect in baseball, prospect versus prospect battle. Kansas City Royals, Adley Rutschman versus Bobby Witt. 2 top prospects enter, only 1 top prospect leaves.
All right, I like it. I like it. You're also thinking of a good angle of it's Kansas City, it's spring, we need to sell tickets.
Home game.
Let's get everyone out there.
Yep.
I went slightly different. I went with May 16th, like a week and a half later.
Yeah.
It's a Monday night game. It is the New York Yankees in town. So it's a big Yankee fans will be there. I think this is a chance to bring the Oriole fans back out, and we have a packed yard. Hopefully more Oriole fans than Yankee fans for Adley's debut. And you have 6 straight games at home. So you've got a nice home stretch, or 7, I miscounted. 7 games at home before you go up to New York. So it's a great time to get them home, get some home cooking for a week of baseball.
Yeah, that's funny, but I looked at that and I actually thought about that, but my reason is you just said it earlier. Hopefully there'd be more Orioles and Yankee fans. I don't know if I want Adley's open. Like I want as many Oriole fans as possible. So I tried to pick a date where there'd be less opposing fans in the stands. That makes me a little nervous to have an Adley Rutschman debut and have some people booing him. That would make me nervous.
I hear you, but my thought was let's fill up the stadium completely. And in order to do that, you're going to need some on both sides.
All right.
But I hear you. I'll tell you, I don't like your prediction of the 6th because you immediately go on the road after that homestand. So you get 3 days of Adley.
All right.
And you want to sell some tickets.
All right. 3 days of Adley's plenty. All right. You're telling me on day 4 of Adley, they're still going to be selling tickets just to see Adley? You can come see him in the next week when they play the Yankees.
All right.
And the Royals, you need to sell more tickets to a Royals game than a Yankees game.
All right. Let's go to DL Hall.
Yep.
Because I think we see DL Hall early. I have May 1st as DL Hall.
Okay.
I think we bring him up. And I don't think he starts. I think we bring him up in the pen because we have no one else in our pen that's going to be compatible. We've got him in this extended spring now. Why waste him in AAA? Bring him straight up to the majors, and let's see what he can do against Boston on May 1st.
Yeah, I have him making his debut 2 weeks after Adley on May 20th, but still in the month of May. And yeah, I think there's 0 chance he's a starter. I think just because the innings issue this year.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be a reliever. I kind of think they might use them like a Tyler Wells last year, right? Where at the beginning they're kind of feeling him out. How can we use this Rule 5 guy? I think they might use him like that in the bullpen, kind of feel him out a little bit, not put him in too high leverage situations at first, and let him build up some innings in the bullpen, and then maybe do what they're doing with Tyler Wells this year, where they're doing some kind of piggyback arrangement. Maybe do that next year with DL Hall, assuming, and this is a big assumption, that Hall can stay healthy throughout the entire season. Lastly, Josh, when do you have Grayson Rodriguez making his appearance?
Now, Grayson Rodriguez, I have making his first appearance as a starter, which I assume you do too. Yes. And I think he will get that start for the Orioles on Saturday, June 4th. It's against the Cleveland Indians.
Okay, we're really close on this one. I'm going with you went the 4th. I'm going on the 3rd, June 3rd. Grayson Rodriguez making his appearance. That'll mean, so I just did this little thing where every 2 weeks, every other Friday, the Orioles are bringing up a top prospect.
You're just starting a new promotion for the Orioles.
Every
new guy
days,
Friday.
Every other Friday is new guy Friday.
New guy Friday.
And then on the 17th, 2 weeks later, we're bringing up Gunnar Henderson. No, I don't think we're bringing him up yet. But yeah, I mean, Josh, I think we're bullish like
Definitely.
June 3rd for a really young pitcher in Grayson Rodriguez, I think is pretty bullish. But I mean, I don't. If he dominates the AAA, he dominated last year. What else do you need to do?
And that's how I feel. And it's like when you don't care about winning or losing, and you just keep talking about you want these guys to have experience. Why not give them experience at the major league level when they're right there, when they're right on the edge?
I don't want to hear any nonsense like they're in the minors to build up their innings, as if you can't build up your innings in the majors. Like there's a different innings that happens in the majors where you can't build up innings in the majors.
There is on good teams. On good teams, you build up your innings in the minors so it doesn't damage your major league team. You know, you build up your innings so that you can screw stuff up, and the team doesn't lose. Nobody cares about winning or losing this season. Bring them to the majors.
And more than that, Josh, even if you limit Grayson Rodriguez like you did last year to just pitching 5 innings, 5 innings of Grayson Rodriguez is equivalent. I mean, Aiken, you think Aiken's going more than 5 innings to start? Aiken's not going 5 innings to start.
No.
But the difference is Aiken's going to give up 5 runs in those 5 innings, and Rodriguez will give up 2 runs. Like Grayson Rodriguez, even limited, is better than what you have.
Yeah.
And so not only will it not hurt the team will be better for Grayson Rodriguez being here.
And I think because of that piggybacking, we may see DL Hall get a start or 2 in late July, August.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, Hall just has not been able to pitch many innings.
Right.
And so I'm curious to see how they use Hall and Rodriguez. Rodriguez pitched almost every start last year, throwing 5 innings. I'm curious to see if they kind of let him. I know they won't let him loose, but if they will kind of let him throw deeper into the games, and if he's able to pitch all season long.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
While we're on New Guy Friday. While we're on New Guy Friday.
New Guy Friday. Yes.
New Guy Friday.
I did too. New Guy Friday.
New Guy Friday. Could I bring us back to the bold predictions?
Yeah, please.
Time now for bold predictions.
You mentioned my guy, Gunnar Henderson. I think Gunnar Henderson has an outstanding time at AAA and forces the Orioles to bring him up by September. I think September call-ups, they want to see him up here and see what he's doing.
All right. I mean, he's starting in Bowie.
Pitching.
He's starting in Bowie. He finished in Bowie last year, though.
I know, but he's going to be in Bowie about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to be a quick move up. I mean, he's 20 years old. He's a young guy. And I think we're going to see him make his major league debut this year, though late in the season.
I think that'd be awesome. That certainly is a bold prediction.
All right. Share with me one of your bold predictions.
All right. I'll stay related to, we talked about all these guys being up by June. And then I went ahead and looked at the schedule in June. Here's my bold prediction. The Orioles not going to have a great season, but the Orioles are going to go 19-8 in June.
19.
They're going to get Adley Rutschman up here. They're going to get DL Hall up here. They're going to get Grace Rodriguez. This is when they're going to be hit on all cylinders. This is going to be the best month of the year. It's also, if you just look at it, it's the
easiest month of the year.
We got the Mariners, the Guardians, the Nationals.
Right. We have
the Mariners again.
You got a rough week
the
with
Royals.
Toronto and Tampa.
But this is the least amount of AL East teams we play all years in June. So if we're going to make a move in the standings, June will be the month. So 19-8 in June is my bold prediction.
You're correct. 19-8 in June. I like it. I like that one. Let's see. Right after that 19-8 series, or around that same time as your 19-8, Trey Mancini will be traded by July 4th.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
By July 4th.
By July 4th.
Well before the trade deadline.
3 weeks before the trade deadline.
Wow. All right.
There'll be no need to, if he's playing that well and we're winning 18 games or whatever, 19 games, whatever you just said, that's when we'll let him go. July 4th, no need to wait him out.
All right. Here's my bold prediction. Trey Mancini. I got a Trey Mancini bold prediction.
Okay.
He will lead the Orioles in home runs, not be traded, and be named the Orioles MVO. I think people are sleeping on how good Trey Mancini is. I think he's going to be, he's healthy. I think he's going to be he had a normal off season. I think he's going to be a bounce back and a big year for Trey Mancini.
All right. Well, while we're talking about MVO, I think Mullins repeats. And Mullins has another great season. I think everyone's making a big deal about this offseason. We never even talked about it on here, how Mullins came out and about what was his health?
Yes, he had a health thing too.
Yeah, he had like a colon thing. Or
but he is being the saint he is. He kept quiet because
Right.
of Trey Mancini, and didn't take the spotlight.
And everyone was making a big deal about him being quiet because of Trey. But I looked at it and I thought, actually, besides the switching and only batting on one side, Crohn's disease, that's it.
Yeah.
What I know about Crohn's disease is you have to be very careful about what you eat. So I think something that people aren't talking about Cedric Mullins last year is, my guess is that in order to fight Crohn's disease, he had to adjust his diet and change his diet. And I bet he's eating a lot healthier. And I think that also is what helped him out on the field. And that's also going to lead into this season as well. Where we always said, well, it's just because he doesn't bat from one side of the plate. I think maybe Crohn's disease
was the key to his success.
Well, I think it taught him a lot about how to manage his body.
All right. Speaking of managing your body, I want to make a prediction about the number of bodies in Camden Yards. Okay. I think for the first time, Josh, since 2014, our attendance numbers will go up compared to last year.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. No, that makes total sense. COVID's gone.
Yep.
Right. That's not around anymore. Yes. And this is kind of like the statue season where you had these big events to bring everyone out. We've got New Guy Friday. These are going to be some packed stadiums.
Yeah, and that's not that bold because with limited, like we were down to like 700,000. It was our lowest partly because of COVID and stuff, right? But not that, I mean, honestly, not that we were filling up the stadium pre-COVID, right? I think we could still hit our COVID safety numbers while also selling all the tickets we wanted to. But
I will say,
okay, because real quick, my bold prediction is, Josh, 3 sellouts this year.
3
opening day.
Which has not sold out yet. There are still tickets available for opening day now, a week out.
Either it will sell out or it'll be said to be a sellout. Okay. It would be a claimed sellout. And then I think Adley Rutschman will be a sellout and Grayson Rodriguez will be a sellout. Bold predictions.
Okay, that's some bold predictions. I don't know. I think it takes getting the average fan excited for a sellout, and I don't think the average fan is hooked up as much to know beyond Adley Rutschman.
You think we can get how many fans we get for Adley Rutschman? 30, 40? Well, we have less stands now too. If you
good point. Good point. We went down like 1,000 seats.
So I don't know what our sellout used to be. No, it used to be 42 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So now it's like 40, 39, 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. I got you. I got that bold prediction. Got you. Let's see.
I'm glad you got it.
Do you have
another one?
I got some notes here.
Okay.
Tyler Wells and Michael Bowman are both in this starting rotation coming out of camp.
Oh, this is a soon one. Michael Bowman too?
Michael Bowman too. This is a bold prediction for Friday. This is one I'm going to check this box off this week.
Yeah, it was interesting. Michael Bowman debuted last year, was using the bullpen, but in the past he has been a starter. So
right,
yeah, all right. Do I have any? Oh yeah, here's my starter prediction. This is another Grayson Rodriguez. Grayson Rodriguez will lead the team in strikeouts.
Okay,
for the 2022 season.
All right, I got that.
What prediction?
Ryan Mountcastle. Haven't heard him come out of our mouth yet today.
Nope. He was in a lot of bold predictions last year, I feel like.
He was. And I got one bold prediction for him this year. He's going to make the All-Star team.
Ooh, nice. That'd be sweet.
I think when you look at the first basemen in the AL East this year, it's kind of a down year. No huge names sitting there at first base.
Matt Olson did switch over to the National League from the American League.
And Freddie Freeman came over to the American League.
No, he didn't. Freddie Freeman's with the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah, he went to the Dodgers. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was looking, and no names stood out. I'm sure there's guys on there, but I think Ryan Mountcastle has a legit shot this year to make the All-Star team. So, my bold prediction is Ryan Mountcastle makes the All-Star team.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think Vlad Guerrero still plays first, right? Isn't he predominantly a first baseman now, Vlad Guerrero Jr.?
Yeah.
He's the one that comes immediately to mind. But
I guess so. You're right. I thought he was third baseman.
I think he came up as a third baseman, but I think he plays mostly first. I don't know.
All right, that might be an issue.
Speaking of young, Josh, you think the left field wall hurts Ryan Mountcastle a lot?
No, I don't think it does because he hits those line drive balls.
I think he has more doubles this year.
Yeah, I can
maybe
see
less
that.
home runs and more doubles.
I don't know. I'll take it. I'm fine with more doubles.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Tyler Nevins. I think this is a young player that people have not been talking a lot about. I'm gonna predict that Tyler Nevins, who actually has a shot at making the opening day roster, I'm predicting that Tyler Nevins has 20 plus home runs this year. Tyler
In
Nevins.
Baltimore?
Yes, Tyler Nevins.
I don't even have him making the team.
Yeah, well, Josh, he's going to hit more than 20 home runs this year.
Okay.
So he's going to have to find a way to get on the team.
Fine. Here's a guy.
Runs.
Here's a guy that you probably don't have on your roster, on your list for your roster. Here's a bold prediction. Again, quick one for Friday. Mateo becomes an everyday player.
Oh yeah, I have him in my starting lineup.
Okay, all right, me too.
My opening day lineup.
Yeah, I like Mateo. I think Mateo had a good spring, and I think he continues on.
All right, here's my last one. Sticking with middle infielders, Ramon Urias, I think becomes this year, according to WAR and those kind of statistical measurements, a top 5 shortstop in the American League.
See, and this is why I had so much trouble with predictions when I had to go back and cross things out after I made add my list. I just saw it popped up on Twitter, confirmation from a close friend that Mateo's made the opening day roster.
Okay.
So I just don't understand the confirmation from a close friend. Okay. Sources say that sources say.
I think it would be surprised if Mateo didn't make the opening day roster.
Well, not really. There's some infield issues like Chris Owens and Odor and stuff that.
Yeah, I wonder if Odor
veteran guys.
Is Odor? Oh, talk about stock who's gone down in spring training.
Odor went way down.
Yeah, I wonder if Odor makes the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what who knocked him down harder, Batista or the Orioles spring training.
Yeah. I know. How much can that Batista hit? How much goodwill can that give you? I don't know.
It ran out.
Well, I mean, if he makes the roster, then we know it's a lot of goodwill. But yeah.
Right. All right.
No, but I'm done with bold predictions.
All right. Well, let's go to rotation. You got your 5-man rotation?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right, John Mees. Jordan Lyles.
Yeah,
we both have that.
Yep.
Who's your number 3?
Zimmerman.
I got Tyler Wells, number 3.
Okay. I think he's the third best guy.
Okay. Who's number 4?
Kramer?
I got Zimmerman as my number 4.
All right, Kramer's 4.
Oh, Kramer. All right. And then who do you have as your number 5?
Tyler Wells.
Okay. And I've got Bowman.
Okay.
So really the difference is you're squeezing Kramer into there, and I'm pushing Kramer out.
Yeah, but not because Kramer's good, just because no one else is.
No, I get it.
I'm not excited about any of these. The other two guys, I mean, Aiken's the other guy where, I just hope he's. I don't know. I don't understand why Aiken's still in the Orioles. I just don't understand that one.
I don't think he. I mean, because they've got lots of slots in the pen. I don't see him in this rotation.
Yeah, he might make it. The other guy who I just hope gets there, I think he'll be here soon, and that's Kyle Bradish. And I hope Kyle Bradish replaces one of these guys. I hope it's like give these guys a short lease, 3 or 4 starts, and then whoever's struggling the most, bring in Kyle Bradish to have him replace him.
Well, and again, that goes back to what makes this year difficult is we just listed 5 guys, but we're hoping that there's 3 guys in the minors that by June will be here and part of this rotation.
Yeah. I mean, does if you're going to tell me, does Kyle Bradish make 20 starts? Does Kyle Bradish make 10 starts? Does Grayson Rodriguez make 15 starts?
Right.
Or does Grayson Rodriguez make 5 starts? Like all these are going to determine, right, the success of this team. So there's just so many question marks.
All right. All right. Let's see. Who do you have in left field? Hayes?
You want to open a lineup?
All right, let's go lineup.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Leading off, there's only one answer for leadoff.
Yeah, Cedric Mullins.
Yep. Who do you have batting second?
I've got Hayes batting second, starting in left field.
All right. I like Hayes. Got a little pop in the bat. I like him a little lower in my lineup. But I got Ramon Urias batting second, playing shortstop.
All right. I got Urias batting ninth, playing third base.
Okay. Oh, we get an even different position. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough. That's Urias. I like him a lot, and he can play second, third, short. He can play them all.
I do too. I just don't trust him yet at the top of the lineup.
Okay.
But I like him, and I really like him over at third base.
Okay. I like him at third base too. I like him at third base over at second base or at shortstop. If we had Correa at shortstop, I like him a lot more at third base. But
Exactly.
we don't have Correa at shortstop, so I
No,
like him at shortstop.
but we've got Gunnar Henderson to eventually come up.
That's true.
So
or
if
Jordan
you're looking at-
Westberg. Jordan Westberg has
True,
had a nice
true.
run, too.
But if you're looking at where Urias could fit on the future of this team, I think third base is a more of a long-term position. So that's where I've got him there.
What about Kobe Mayo?
Kobe Mayo's way out there.
Yeah. No,
Who
I
you have
think
batting
Urias.
third?
I think if everything works out perfectly, Urias is your perfect utility man.
Well, yeah, that'd be great. That would be great.
Batting third, we might have the same with this one. Mountcastle, first base.
Oh, I got Trey Mancini.
Okay. You want to switch this? I got Trey Mancini batting fourth at DH.
Yeah, and I got Mountcastle fourth at first.
And you got Trey
Trey's-
as DH.
Trey's the DH.
You don't have him out there at left field with that big old field?
No, I told you I got Hayes out there.
Yeah. And that's who I had batting fifth. I got Austin Hayes in right field.
All right, my right fielder is also in. Wait, you have Hayes in right field?
No, I'm sorry, left field. Left field.
Okay, all right. My right fielder is batting fifth, and that is Anthony Santander
Yes.
to start. But I think that's a big question of how long he is the right fielder.
Yep.
He needs to
I
prove
agree.
himself.
I have him batting sixth, Santander at right field, but I agree. I think he starts in right field. None of my bold predictions involve Santander. I would not be surprised if he's traded, if he's cut, if he's whatever. Like
Demoted.
I mean, I think anything's possible with Santander because the reality is, Kyle Stowers, Diaz. These guys are kind of waiting to get their opportunity. So I'm curious to see how long the leash is for Santander.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Next
I have
up,
them batting six. Who do you have six?
I got Mateo playing second base.
Okay.
You don't have Mateo on your team, do you?
No, I have Mateo batting ninth, playing second base.
Okay. All right. So we got this right position.
Yep. I
All right.
have
Who's behind the plate? Or catcher's my next position. Who do you have next?
I have third base actually.
Okay.
Batting seventh, playing third base, Kevin Gutierrez.
Okay. Gutierrez does not make my team.
Okay, he's gonna make the team.
Not in my world.
Okay, well, it's not your world. Cheersnos. I'm sorry.
See,
I pretty mispronounced his name. I'm gonna get a 1-star review for it.
Uh-huh.
No, and I have him batting eighth, playing catcher.
I've got Nottingham.
Okay.
That's the opening day catcher.
Okay.
And batting seventh. Seventh. I got Ricky Martin. I got
Richie Martin.
Richie Martin at short, batting eighth.
Living
And
La Vida Loca.
I don't know if I have a soft spot of Richie Martin, but his spring stats also look pretty good.
Yeah, that's another guy's stock went up.
I think his
went
stock's
from training.
up. So I see Richie Martin at shortstop, which again speaks to the whole. We've got Chris Owens, Rogador, guys that pre-spring training you thought were filling these positions, and I think there's better options on this team with younger guys.
Yep, and it might be sentimental value alone, like the fact that Richie Martin's our guy. We revived him. He's been here for a while, but I'd rather see him play than Odor or Owens. I would.
I agree. Who's your ninth?
I said Mateo batting second base. I'm playing second base. I like those. I like Mateo at second base. I like it when they do the speedster at the end of the lineup.
Yeah,
like the second
flip it
leadoff
over.
guy. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I see that. All right, so for the most part, we've got the left field of our side, second base, third base, shortstop. We've got some positional differences. And who did you have instead of Martin? I had Martin in there.
Gutierrez.
You have Gutierrez in, and that's really the only difference. The rest of our guys, we got the same guys in different orders.
Yep.
So how about your bench guys?
Oh, I didn't really work on my bench guys. I mean, I didn't do the math here. I want Tyler Nevins in there.
All right. I put Rogador, Chris Owens.
I don't want Odor.
I put those two guys as guys that like you feel like you need to give them a little chance. But I don't see Odor. I'd love to just cut Odor. I don't think he. But I don't. I'd have to.
But I don't see
remember the whole
Odor.
time.
But the problem with that is I don't see Odor coming and riding the bench. Like he's only there to boost his trade value. Like I feel like if Odor's on the team, he's making the open day lineup. He's playing almost every day.
All right,
which
then
means
you're right.
your boy Mateo is riding the bench.
Yeah, you're right. We could cut him. I've got in that case I got
Yes, Odor out.
I mean, I'd rather cut Odor. I felt like I put him as my bench because I felt like they're going to give him some credit for his career.
Yeah,
But-
I'd rather have Chris Owens because Chris Owens I feel like can do more things, play more positions, and would be better with a utility role than Odor.
Yeah.
So I'd rather
And,
Owens and get rid of Odor.
And I got Chirinos on my bench as my backup catcher.
Yeah, Chirinos.
obviously.
I don't know why. Yeah, he's my starter, but yeah.
I don't know why he's my starter.
I don't know
randomly
why
picked
you don't
him.
have him starting opening lineup when he's the only guy on the 40-man. Chirinos is you signed him just to play till Adley gets here.
Because
Why would you have some Nottingham?
Nottingham's having a better spring.
All right.
And then I got McKenna again on this bench as that fourth outfielder.
I don't know. Is it 26-man, 27-man? Did they decide?
Yeah, you have an extra man until the end of April.
So it's 27 until April,
Yeah.
which should probably be an extra pitching arm.
Yeah, it'll be a pitching arm. So that's why I only went with 4 bench spots. And I
Yeah,
did
so
not try to write down all our bullpen pitchers because I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I would replace if I was kind of so here's who you don't have. You don't have DJ Stewart making it.
No, unless we cut Odor, then DJ Stewart can come in there.
Yeah.
But I
mean,
feel like coming off the injury, there's a better chance of giving him either extended spring to rehab or AAA.
yeah. I mean, I think DJ Stewart, if he doesn't start on injured list, I think someone will. I heard Mateo is having some kind of stomach issue. I think it could be. That's what I heard.
I think you're making something up.
No, this is true. He's had a stomach issue, but I think like a muscle stomach issue.
I was gonna say it's a little early to say he's got the flu.
Yeah, no, like a muscle
issues.
thing.
I don't know about this.
So I mean, I think something like that's going to happen where maybe someone begins on the injured list. I would like to see Tyler Nevins make it over Odor, and I would like to see Chris Owens, and then I feel like I'm kind of down to Stewart or McKenna. And so I would guess I would want McKenna, but I kind of am intrigued still by Stewart for some dumb reason. So I want Stewart to make the team too. So someone can get a mysterious injury to let Stewart make the team. That'd be great. Josh, what do you have the Orioles record being? And I agree with you. For me, I feel like there's a range of possibilities.
All right, 9 hours ago, Mateo missed today's game because of soreness in the stomach area.
See, exactly what I said.
He's getting tested. Hyde does not think it's an oblique.
Okay.
All right. So that could hurt.
Therefore, if it's not the oblique, what are the other muscles in your stomach? Go.
To be honest, I didn't know the oblique was in your stomach.
I guess on the side, right? The side of the stomach.
I have no idea. Thought that was in your back or something. All right. Season predictions. My bookie has it as 62.5. So we're gonna take some cash and bet alongside our predictions.
No, I lost too much money last year. I'm not doing it anymore.
I haven't decided yet. I have until Friday to put some money in and decide whether or not to do this bet. Because I don't know if I'll put money there because it's all up in the air because of these New Guy Fridays.
Yeah,
So,
because you don't know when guys are making their debuts.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
So I changed this number 4 or 5 times today. Final number I'm gonna lock it in, 72 wins. That's 20 more wins than last year. 72 wins. 90 losses. Where are you at?
I'm not 72.
It's also 9.5 more than my bookie says.
Yeah.
Which means I feel like I should go put some money on my bookie because I have a 9.5 thing to lean on.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get past. All right. So last year, what was our record last year?
52 and 110.
Yeah. And then you look at, well, how did our lineup and or rotation get better from this year to last year? Oh, we spent $0 on free agency. Oh no, we had a Jordan Lyles,
Right.
and we lost Matt Harvey.
I know. But at some point, Adley's coming up, Grayson's coming up, DL Hall's coming up at some point this year.
Yeah, the only one of those guys who I think makes a huge difference this year, as far as record goes, would be Grayson Rodriguez, because I just can't get past this pitching staff of Means, Lyles, Zimmerman, Kramer, even Wells will be on limited innings. And that's assumed. Like, what happens if someone gets hurt and Zach Lothar has to come up? Oh, and every time someone says Wells as a starter, I immediately think of Alex Wells. I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea.
No,
then
we're
I
all
remember,
talking Tyler.
Wells. Oh yeah, we're okay. No, so I'm going to go 67 wins. So I'm still going above 62.5 because I'm optimistic about Grayson and Adley.
All right.
But I'm going 67 wins.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. 67, 72. We're in the same boat. And that really comes down to these new guy call-ups.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, it sounds dumb to say, but what 67 wins does, and 72 will do this to a much larger extent, but what 67 does is it keeps you from avoiding 100 losses. And it makes you feel like you're on the road.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Elias thinks too. Like, if you look at his quotes from last offseason, I went back and read them all. He thinks last year was as bad as it gets.
Right.
And now we're on the road to getting better.
We are still at the bottom of the AL East.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not the worst team in baseball.
Agreed.
And I think it also gives you extreme hope going into next year when you also have the balanced schedule coming into play next year. Yep. So I think all that gives you a lot of hope for 2023.
But not for 2022.
No.
Right.
I feel like maybe we need to make it a segment on this show each week. Is kind of reminding people like this is what to watch for in the Orioles this week. Because we're not making the playoffs this year.
No.
But we're going to look for we're going to look for improvement. We're going to look for hustle. And
you're gonna look for hustle.
You're gonna look for hustle.
Josh out there looking for hustle for the major league squad.
Hustle. Yeah,
people looking out there for wins. Josh looking for hustle.
I'm looking for Mateo to run hard to first base.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't mean hustle. I mean like gutting some games out with young guys, and really looking to see like if Rushman, Rodriguez, and Hall come up. I assume they're all going to have some struggles this year. As big as they are, I don't expect them to be just like killing it immediately.
Oh, I do.
I know you do. I'm trying to set my expectations low. I know.
I expect Rodriguez to immediately become the best pitcher in our rotation. I expect Rodriguez to obviously become the best catcher, but one of the best offensive players on our team the second he arrives.
And I would love that.
And I expect our pitchers to get better when Rodriguez is I mean, when Adley's catching, I think our pitchers will pitch better.
And I think that having Rodriguez is going to help our bullpen because it means he's going to go deeper into games and our bullpen not have to do this piggyback in on fifth day and all that. So bringing these guys up does help the team as a whole. Plus, we moved the left field wall back. That's good for a win or two.
Yep. Also, Josh, or a couple less home runs that we're giving up.
Right.
Also, do you think I feel a little bit of pressure? I feel a little bit of pressure that the Orioles need to prove to Mike Elias that we're close. So next offseason, we can go make some moves. If we lose another 110 games and none of these players kind of work out and Mountcastle takes a step back and Austin Hayes gets hurt and Hall gets hurt and we never get there, then all of a sudden Mike Elias is going to be saying, oh, maybe we're still a couple years away. But if these players play well and we get to 70 wins or something, I think it goes. I think it gives Mike Elias confidence to go out and sign.
I think
this goes free agent.
I think this goes above Mike Elias. I think if we don't win more than 52 games this year, ownership goes to Mike Elias and says, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I think that's fair.
I think it's totally fair, and I think you go to him and be like, "Look, I know I gave you no money, but show me anything where I have hope in this team for next year because you're coming at me again this offseason and saying you want Carlos Correa because he's now got that option out. So you're trying to bring him to Baltimore again. Show me something that I need to invest in this team next year."
Yeah. And I think if you start winning more games, you can make an argument that
You
you're
can.
just 2 starters away, or a middle
You
infielder
need to-
away. And even if you don't win, 100 games next year, if you sign a big name free agent, then all of a sudden,
Keeps bringing hope.
yep, you're on the path.
And you need minor league guys to come up and show an impact and change in this major league team to show the Angelos family that all that money you spent on TrackMan and on facilities and on new coaches was worth every penny, because look how it's improved this team. They really need to prove things internally, even if it doesn't mean winning or not landing in last place.
Yeah, I mean, prospects are prospects, but you can't win World Series with prospects. You got to win World Series with good players. And you're right, Josh. As of now, none of the prospects have really had the chance to, but have performed at the major level. This is going to be the first year where a lot of these top prospects under the last regime, his first draft pick, Adley, is going to have a chance to perform at the major level. And yeah, I think there's pressure to perform well.
I totally agree.
Even in what it will ultimately be a losing season.
Right. It's a losing season, but it's not about wins and losses this year. It's way bigger than that.
Yeah, it's a big year. It's a big year for the Orioles.
No, we lose 50. We win only 50 games this year. Then all that defense of Michael Elias is gone.
That would be devastating, Josh. If
would-
we
it
lose
would
more
be.
games than last
There
year,
is no
it
rebuild.
Devastating.
Yeah. The rebuild's over. It didn't work. Start over again.
Well, yeah, it would be devastating to Elias's argument.
All right.
And I don't know what he would do then. I don't know what he would do then.
I don't know how you move on with Michael Elias if they lose 50 games or win 50 games. I don't know how you don't knock Elias out and put someone else in there.
Well, I think that's a bit extreme. In his defense, you're spending $30 million. How much do you expect to win with $30 million roster?
I get it. I get that. But Mike Elias is saying that you don't need to spend a whole lot.
I mean, how many guys in this 40-man are Elias guys? I mean, a lot of the guys that are Elias guys are still coming.
Right. But we're talking about 3 of them coming this year.
Yeah. So if they have bad years, you just said they might not light the world on fire in their first year.
So what do you think? You think Elias just keeps all his guys down until next year and says, "Hey, look, all my guys are coming up next year.
I mean, it's
give
amazing,
me the money.
right?
Give me the money, and we're gonna just write down on the notes here that you can start judging me in 2023."
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of amazing, right? Like, when you think in sports,
It's quite the leash.
Almost, yeah. Managers, GMs almost have no leash at all, right? Like, people want to win, and they want to win now, and so there's very few incentives to worry about trading for a 17-year-old, right? There's very few incentives to worry about 5-6 years from now. People want to win now. But Michael Elias, with his whole from the start, was given a tremendously long leash, and he told him he informed management. I think that this is going to be a really, really long process,
right?
And it's going to be hard and it's going to be rough. So strap in.
But he also had to give them something, which is where he probably told them, "But you're going to save money. We're going to cut the roster back.
Yep.
We're going to have seasons where we don't spend money and you just make money.
Yep.
And then we'll start winning again.
Yep. So, and then we'll spend money again.
So it's not fair to say that the Angelos tied Michael Elias's hands this year by only allowing him to spend $30 million. This is part of Elias's plan. This is what he does.
Oh yeah, I don't think Elias was out there campaigning to sign Nelson Cruz.
No, you could have told him he had $100 million budget, and it probably would have looked pretty similar to what it looks now.
I think so. I think you're right.
I don't think this was a money issue.
I think he would have preferred to sign another starting pitcher. I think he would have preferred to sign another starting pitcher. I just don't think he found the right deal.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, here we are. All right. Any other predictions, Josh? Any other?
No, I'm good. I got all my notes covered. I'm excited. Baseball's here. I'm going to Tampa this weekend.
Yep, we're going to have the opening days covered. You have the away opening day and the real opening day.
Right. So then we'll go live again next Monday, and we'll be able to break it all down. I mean, next time you and I talk on here, it's like 4 baseball games have taken place.
Yep. And the minor league season has started too at that point too, because that starts on Friday.
Yep. We'll have plenty to talk about. Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, can you believe this is our 10th season?
10 years?
Well, this is the start of our 10th year. Yeah, we've
All right.
covered the Orioles for 9 years. So this is our 10th
So this is
season,
our
10th
10th
time
season.
making some predictions for this year.
Yeah. And we get better at our bowl prediction every single year. Good for us.
Oh yeah, mine are all going to hit this year, I'm sure.
Yep. You can follow all of this talk, by the way, on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, for all our Oriole hot takes. And Josh, you can Birdland Radio is coming back too, right?
I believe so. I need to get a few more hosts, but
Okay.
Birdland Tonight should be coming back.
If you're interested in hosting, reach out
with
to
some
at Josh
post-game
Rocco.
shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye out on that. But yeah, more importantly, make sure you're going and rating, liking, reviewing this show, and getting word out there that now's the time to hop on the Birds bandwagon. Join Birdland now.
right.
Get to know all these young guys now. So that way, when we're winning the World Series the next couple of years, you're not a bandwagon fan.
That's right. We got your Orioles talk covered each and every Monday throughout the season. You can follow me on Twitter at Section336. You can also follow Josh on Twitter
At Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.